"What are you doing here?" That was the first thing that came out of my mouth. "Camilla." Madeline looked back and forth at me and Lara. Lara gave me a smirk, warning me about her next words. "I'm pregnant with Marcus's child." With that, she touched her stomach, showing me the small baby bump. I felt my world crumbling around me. I wanted to shrink into a corner and cry. Everything I built, my company, my reputation, my friendship with Marcus, all going down just like that. If media gets this news, everything would fall apart. I was walking on thin ice at the moment. They wouldn't care about what really happened to Marcus. They wouldn't care if he's the victim of not. The media always portray us as the predator of the society, and they would do anything to keep it like that. Even though Lara did a crime, the child is innocent. If it's really Marcus's child, I wouldn't separate a father from his child. The child already got a shit mother, so at least he deserves a good father. I looked at Lara with anger burning inside me. But I didn't want to argue with a criminal, so I turned around and walked into my room. "Is she that scared?" I heard Lara chuckle. "Get out of this house," Madeline shouted. "Why should I? I'm not going to raise my child alone. He's also Marcus's responsibility. So I'm staying here." I heard Lara's annoying voice yell back. "You fucking rapists! Get out of this house! If that child is Master's, he will keep it. Not you, so get out. You are lucky that he didn't sue you." "Shut up, you have no power to kick me out," Lara screamed louder, shaking the entire house with her ear-piercing voice. "Where are you going, bitch?" I heard Madeline yell louder. "To Marcus's room." Her footsteps rushed up the stairs into Marcus's room. My mood soured suddenly. I had only been to Marcus's room once, and that was to scold him. So I didn't even get a good look at it, but now another woman was sleeping in it. I took my phone out to call Marcus, but then realized that I didn't know what to say to him. Should I ask him to kick her out, or should I ask him to be responsible? For some reason, I wanted us to work out. I wanted to understand him, but now I had to give up, and it pains me. I broke into a sob as grief engulfed me. Without changing from my work clothes, I slept hoping this was just a nightmare. Next morning, I woke up to a loud knock on the door. "Camilla, please open the door." Madeline knocked again. I opened my door because I didn't want to make her worry more. "Camilla, don't worry. I believe in karma, and that bitch will pay for what she has done. Take a shower and come down to eat." I gave her a small, reassured smile and closed the door. I quickly took a shower and changed into another set of clothes. As I got down, I saw Lara sitting at a stool in the kitchen drinking coffee. She smirked as she saw me. Did the princess cry herself to sleep? I ignored her and sat at the dining table. Lara took a chair across from me and snatched the breakfast Madeline made for me. She started eating it and moaned several times, enjoying the meal. "This is really good, Madeline. After I become Marcus's wife, I think I will have to get used to this kind of high-standard stuff." I scoffed in disbelief. "Look at the way you are eating. You don't even have table manners, and you think you will fit into the upper-class society." I know I was showing off my money, but this woman was more vicious. She was using the child as an advantage to climb up the steps to be Marcus's wife. "Shut up, I bear the child, not you." "Yes, except for that I have everything unlike you." "You bitch. You only have money. If you weren't so rich, I would have taken you down already." I kept my arms on the table and leaned in. "You know the only thing that keeps me from slapping you is that child. I don't want you to do a dramatic fall that causes a miscarriage and then blame it on me." Lara suddenly stood up and gritted her teeth in anger. I smiled, seeing her fury. "And yes, as you said, I am rich. So I have the power and money to make you disappear from the face of Earth. But I don't harm children, so that belly of yours is the only thing that keeps you alive." I spat and walked out of the house. I drove off to my office and quickly strode into my room. Everyone in the company noticed my bad mood, so they tried their best to avoid me. After working for hours, I called Allie, who landed back in New York. "Hello, Camilla." "Hey." My voice was sore. Even though I acted strong, I wasn't. Neither Marcus nor I can put Lara in jail because of the media, and it made me frustrated. "Camilla, what's wrong?" Allie asked, concern laced in her voice. I didn't want to tell her about Marcus's private life, so I just told that a woman came home claiming she bears his child. "Are you okay? Don't worry, Marcus will come today. He will take care of it. Just relax. I have a meeting now, but I will surely visit you. Don't give up yet." As usual, Allie tried to cheer me up. "Thank you, Allie, you are the best." "I know. Anyways, did you call him?" "No." "Well." There was a pause in her voice. "Well, I think you shouldn't worry. He won't let her take the wife position that easily, and RJs wouldn't give up their business partner without a fight." "Very funny," I said sarcastically, and she chuckled. I felt a bit relaxed after talking to her. After talking to her for hours, I checked the time and it was already 7. I took my bag and drove off to our house. Marcus was supposed to land at 5, so I hoped he would be home right now. As I walked in, Madeline opened the door. "Where's Marcus?" Madeline looked down in guilt. "Camilla, he didn't come home. I tried calling him several times after he landed, but he won't pick up." "Does he not want to come here?" "Why, I heard a notification go off on my phone." I looked at my phone to see who it was, and it was Anna from my office. She had sent me a picture. I loaded and saw Lara holding my husband by his shoulders in a hotel. They seemed to be talking. There was Steve and another guy in the picture, but I didn't care. I felt my throat becoming dry. "Ma'am, your husband is with another woman." They talked a lot, and then Mr. Anderson pulled her outside. I read Anna's message over and over again, all the hope draining away from me. I need someone. I need something to get this out of my head. I called Allie, and she picked up on the 3rd ring. "Allie, please come here." I was in the verge of tears. Is this the end of our relationship? I just gave a chance to this marriage, and now everything is crumbling down. Allie reached here within a few minutes. In a rush, she dragged me up the stairs to my room and started rummaging through my closet. "What are you doing?" "We are going clubbing." "What, no?" "Getting drunk makes you forget your worries. Especially when you are in grief, it's a good remedy." "I'm not in grief, but fucking boiling with anger. And also getting drunk is never a remedy." Allie threw a short backless dress at me. "Go and get changed. I need a drink too. Shoo shoo." I rolled my eyes and changed into the clothes she gave me. I told Madeline where I was going to ease her worries. Then Allie took me to a club, banging with loud music, filled with people who were dancing like they lost it. She grabbed my hand and pulled me to the bar. We both ordered vodka and got ourselves drunk, just like the old times back in college. "Allie." I tapped her shoulder to see if it was really her. I was so drunk that I could see spots in my vision. "Allie, I want that woman gone, but I feel bad for the child. Will a child break the bond that I have been trying to build up with him?" I hiccuped. "Ah, here comes the grief." She drank another shot. "Allie, I don't know what to do." Now I was a crying mess. This is why I hate drinking. I pour all my emotions out. I leaned back to look her in the eyes and saw Marcus standing by the entrance. His eyes searched the crowd for a while until they fixated on me. Allie looked behind her and saw Marcus walking toward. She told Marcus something, but I couldn't focus on what they were talking about. My mind was elsewhere. Allie gave Marcus a nod and walked away. "You really drank a lot," Marcus said as he sat on the stool next to mine. "You go back to your child's mother. Let me drink." I looked down hurt. I was so drunk that I couldn't control the words coming out of my mouth. Camilla, I'm not the child's father. What? Did I hear it right? Or had I really gone insane with too many shots of vodka? She was faking it. Her child is just 3 months old, and she forced herself on me nearly 5 months ago. I looked at him, asking him to continue. Madeline called me as soon as Lara came home. I came to the States yesterday to find the child's father. Sorry I didn't call you. I needed to confirm everything before giving you any hope. I found the man and made Lara confess everything. Don't worry, she won't be bothering us again. I felt a sense of relief pass through me. So that means that child isn't yours? He shook his head. I felt so happy and high that I didn't properly think of my actions. I wrapped my arms around his neck and kissed him on the lips. Sir, Mrs. Anderson's flight has landed. Steve came back after calling Camilla's assistant. Steve had befriended Camilla in such a short time, and it was good because I could keep an eye on Camilla. I know she was capable of protecting her own self, but I don't want anyone getting hurt because of me. I already hurt many I cared for, and I won't let that happen again. I was pulled out of my trance as my phone started ringing. I took it out and saw Madeline calling me. I picked it up and brought the phone to my ear. Hello, Madeline, is everything all right? Camilla will be arriving shortly. Camilla is coming now? She yelled through the phone. Why, what happened? I asked with concern. Sir Lara is back and she is claiming that she's pregnant. All the color drained from my face. I started massaging my temples in stress. How can she be pregnant if she was? Why did she come now? It's been nearly 5 months. She could have come earlier. But sir, something isn't right, Madeline said with confusion in her voice. What is it? She doesn't seem to be 5 months pregnant. It looks more like 2 or 3 months, but not more than that. You can't say that exactly. All logical thinking had left me by then. I was mad yet sad at the same time. I don't want a child with a vicious woman like that. A child of mine doesn't deserve a mother like her. No, I'm sure. I have been pregnant, and I have taken care of many pregnant women. I can say how far along the baby is just by looking at the bump. Her confidence gave me hope. Maybe Lara is lying. Okay, Madeline, I'll take care of it. Just look out for Camilla. I will come soon, but don't tell her that you told me. She might already hate me and would not listen if I don't come with proof. I ended the call and thought about ways to prove that she was not carrying my child. Steve, I want Lara's past call records. What she has been doing where she has been. I want records of everything she has been doing for the past 5 months. I told Steve and went back to pack my bag. Lyra, your housemaid. He followed me to my room. Wait, sir, why are you packing? Because we are leaving. Get ready. I told without looking at him. I needed to prove this quickly before Camilla gets depressed. I don't want her to misunderstand. I thought she would be a nuisance in my life. A rich, spoiled woman was the last thing I wanted. But I realized that I had misunderstood her. She was nothing like I thought she would be. She was much, much better. A very cheerful person that doesn't deserve me. She doesn't deserve a man devoid of emotions. I don't want her to suffer because of me. If she someday wants to divorce me, I would grant it to her. She was better without me. She deserves to be loved, and I knew that I wasn't capable of giving her what she wanted. So it was better for her to go rather than get hurt. But I didn't want Lara to hurt her either, so I needed to solve this before it gets complicated. Sir, she has been living in Rochester these past few months. I checked her call records. It seems like she has been living with a man. Perfect. Now let's get going. We landed back in New York and Steve drove to Lara's house. As we pulled up, I saw that she had not been living under good conditions. We walked to her house and Steve knocked. "Hello, anyone there?" Steve knocked several times. It was already night and the lights were off. We turned to walk back to our car, but suddenly the door opened and a man with tattoos came out. He looked like he was in his early 30s. "Who the fuck are you?" He blew his cigarette smoke carelessly into Steve's face, and Steve scrunched his nose in disgust. "Are you Lara's boyfriend?" I stepped forward and asked him. Suddenly he recognized me and quickly ran to the kitchen window and then jumped out. We ran around the house, but he had already gotten on his bike and left. "Shit. Call our personal security and tell them to track him down," I ordered Steve and quickly got into the car. We tried chasing the man, but he was too fast. I slammed my fist on the steering wheel in annoyance. How can we just let him run away? My phone rang and Madeline called me. It was already midnight. Had something happened to Camilla? I quickly answered the call in worry. "Madeline, is everything okay?" I heard her sobbing. "No, Master. Camilla is crying, and she's not opening her door. She has been crying for a while now. I'm scared." I ran my hand through my hair, feeling helpless. Just try to keep her calm. I will come back soon." "Sir, where are we going? Are you going back home?" "No, I can't. Let's go to a hotel." With that, I drove to the nearest hotel. Steve opened my room's door and came in. "Sir, I have people following him. We will find him by tomorrow." "Good. Call me when you find him." It was already afternoon and I was getting impatient. I had told Camilla that I would be coming home today evening, and if we fail to find him, I won't be able to go back today. She made me feel something that I didn't feel for a very long time. When she took care of me that day at the elevator for the first time in a very long time, I felt safe. I wanted to hold her forever, to give her what she gave me. I wanted to protect her, to make her feel safe just like she made me feel. That day when she asked me those 3 words that I have been yearning for my entire life, I knew something changed in me. But I know that I can't be selfish. She needs to go for her own good. I can't let her feel comfortable with me. She will get attached, and it will only hurt her. She needs to go soon before she gets entangled in my past. "Sir, our men found Lara's boyfriend, and now they are bringing him here." I exhaled a huge breath that I hadn't realized I was holding. "Did you do some research on him?" "Yes, sir. His name is Mark Willows. He came back from a drug rehabilitation center 4 months ago. He has been gambling for a living these past few months. No wonder they had been living under such poor conditions." As we walked to the entrance, I saw my men dragging him back. "Mr. Anderson, where should we take him?" Before the hotel staff see us, I gestured to them to take him up to my room. As we got there, Mark started struggling to get out. I kicked him inside and closed the door behind me. I took him by the collar and interrogated him. "Are you Lara's child's father?" Mark furiously spit at me and I punched him in return. Steve soon pulled me back before I could beat the life out of him. "Sir, go and wash your face. I will take it from here." I nodded my head and went to the bathroom to clean my face. "Sir, now he's ready to talk." I saw blood oozing out of Mark's mouth. "Lara is pregnant with my child. I told her to use this child to get money from you." He said that without any shame. I wanted to kick him, but I knew that if I started now, I would end up killing him. I was angry. How could they use a child for their own benefits? "How old is her baby?" 3 months. "That child is very unlucky to have the 2 of you as parents." I gripped his throat and lifted him up. "Let's go and talk to Lara." I dragged him out and told my men to bring Lara. "Marcus, he's lying. This is your child." Lara sobbed in front of me, her fake tears pouring out of her eyes. She suddenly came forward and touched my shoulders. I felt disgusted, my inside burning with hatred. Before some paparazzi see her, I dragged her outside. Steve followed behind me, dragging Mark with him. You both listen. I know that you are under a lot of debt and on the run from drug dealers. If I ever see you both again, I will hand you over to them without a second thought. Their faces paled as I threatened them. But Marcus, shut up, do you want to die? Mark yelled at Lara furiously. Good. Now that you both understand the situation, here go. I have booked a flight for both of you to Houston. Don't show your face here ever again. I ordered my men to take them away so that I could go home. Where's Camilla? I asked, as I noticed that she was not home. She went to a club with her friend, Madeline replied. Friend? Yes. I think her name is Allie. She recently came back from India. I will go and find her. Tell me which club they went to. I went out and drove off to the club. It was already night, and I didn't want anything to happen to her. She is rich, and going anywhere without security is dangerous. People might try to harm her. As I went inside, I saw that the entire club was packed. I searched for her face and found her staring at me from the bar. I started walking over to her, but before I could make it, I bumped into her friend. Are you Marcus? She asked me. Yes, thanks for staying with her. I will take it from here. She hesitated for a second, then she nodded and walked away. I turned my attention back to Camilla and took Smalls towards her. As I neared her, I could sense that she was drunk a lot. You drank a lot. I sat in the stool beside her. You go back to your child's mother. She looked down, hurt clear in her eyes. Camilla, I'm not the child's father. She looked up and I briefly explained everything that had happened. A sense of relief passed through her face. So that means that child isn't yours? I shook my head. Suddenly, she wrapped her arms around my neck and kissed me. I was shocked. I didn't know what to do. Before I could do anything, she leaned back and looked at me. She gave me a small smile and her head fell onto my shoulder. I looked down to see her sleeping on me. I sighed and gently took her to my arms before walking out. I woke up with a jolt. I had such a weird dream of kissing Marcus. That was by far the most embarrassing dream I had ever had. As I got up, my head started pounding. I suddenly regretted my decision last night to go clubbing and getting drunk. I wanted to kill Allie right now. As I was getting ready to go to the bathroom, someone knocked on my door. Camilla, this is some soup I made from an old family recipe. It might make you feel better. Madeline handed me some soup in a small bowl. Did Allie bring me back, or did you have to call security? I yawned and rubbed my eyes sleepily. Oh no, sir, brought you back. All the organs in my body stopped functioning. What did you say? I yelled at her in surprise. He carried you in his arms last night? I stood still for good seconds, and then shut the door loudly, not wanting to hear any more. I knew that was rude, but my mind was elsewhere. I sprinted to my bed and got my phone, which I always kept under the pillow just in case a burglar broke in, which is highly unlikely in this rich neighborhood. I dialed Allie quickly, but it went to voicemail. I called again, and this time she picked up. Hello. Her sleepy voice spoke through the phone. Allie, what happened last night? Why did Marcus carry me back? I prayed several times, wishing it wasn't true. Oh, that. I heard her yawn before continuing. He came yesterday when you were drunk. He told me he'll take care of you, but nevertheless, I watched you from far away. He told you something and you smiled like a maniac and then kissed him. All the color drained from my face, my hands started shaking. I bit my nails and continuously tapped the floor with my foot in complete horror. I kissed him, So it wasn't a dream. "What did you say?" I screamed, hopping. My loud voice would scare away all the demonic memories of last night before they hit me in the head and makes me remember. "Oh my God, my ear! Can you please not shout?" she groaned. "And wait, don't tell me you don't remember last night," Allie replied with a hint of accusation in her voice. But it was too late. All the memories began banging on my head. This was far too embarrassing. How the hell am I supposed to face him after I kissed him? And I vaguely remember that he didn't kiss me back, which made my already sour mood even worse. I pulled my hair in annoyance. "You stupid, dumb idiot, Camilla." I cursed myself and walked to the bathroom. I opened the shower and wished that I could wash myself away and disappear down the drain from this world. After spending half of my life in the shower, I stomped out in frustration. I opened my wardrobe and changed into a light pink chiffon top with white shorts. I quietly walked down the stairs, hoping not to see Marcus, but only to find him seated at the dining table drinking coffee with a newspaper in hand. My jaw dropped at the sight of him. He was wearing a royal blue collared shirt with white pants, an expensive watch in his wrist, sunlight penetrating through the windows shinning on his already handsome face. It was like in those weird movies where the girl sees hearts flying around the guy's head. I had the sudden urge to run my hands over his hard muscles, but I quickly shook my head in embarrassment and self-loathing. What's wrong with me today? I tiptoed down the stairs, but Marcus raised his head from the newspaper and looked at me. I awkwardly smiled and started walking away. "Where are you going?" I stopped and turned around. "Out." "Out where?" "To the streets." I said more like a question. "What are you going to do in the street?" "Camilla, think. I'm going to explore the extension of human civilization. I'll be back," I said merrily, and turned around to leave, but his voice stopped me. "Come and sit," he ordered, and I groaned before walking to the table and sat on a chair across him. "Did you sleep well?" Why was he suddenly talking? It only made me want to shrink back into the embarrassment I was feeling. "Yes, I did," I stuttered, and started gulping the food in a rush. We had a moment of peacefulness until Madeline decided to drop a bomb. "Mr. and Mrs. Anderson, I have a family matter that I need to attend to, and I'm really sorry, but can I have a day or two off?" Madeline asked Marcus expectantly while looking at me with puppy eyes. It seemed like Marcus didn't usually give days off. "Okay, when will you be coming back?" "Probably Tuesday." Marcus nodded his head, and a big grin appeared on Madeline's face. "So, Camilla, I will pack my bags now. Hope you have a good weekend." "Good weekend?" I scoffed. "I'm gonna be stuck till Tuesday with a porcupine fish who might shed its spines and attack me any time of the day or maybe even night." I gasped at the thought. "Why are you scoffing and gasping?" My spoon almost hit the back of my throat, and I coughed, almost choking, before I looked at him. Marcus stared at me with raised eyebrows and then leaned in. "I want to talk about last night. I have some work to do. I'll talk with you later." I waved a bye and sprinted to my room, not glancing back once, and closed the door quickly. For a few hours, I engrossed myself in the new design Sarah had sent me the day before. But nothing seemed to take my mind off what happened last night. It was as clear as day I kissed Marcus, and he didn't reciprocate. He didn't like what I did yesterday. There was no other reason for him to want to talk about it. If I was given a chance to time travel, then I would choose to go back to last night without a second thought. It was already lunchtime, and my stomach was growling. So I went downstairs, hopping to cook something, but only to be halted to an abrupt stop before I made it all the way down. The handsome man I saw today morning was cooking in the kitchen. He was frying something in a pan, and his hands were moving so swiftly, as if he was an expert in this. If only that man wasn't my husband, I would have been bewitched by him. I inched a little closer to Marcus and peeked over his shoulder to see what he was doing. "I thought you were vegetarian. Why are you frying sausages?" I pointed at the pan. "Oh, these are for you." I felt like my eyes would pop out of their sockets. I was surprised to learn that this piece of wood had a heart. I continued to watch as he simply stared at me with curious eyes. "What are you going to eat?" I quickly broke the awkward staring contest we were having. "I was planning on making spaghetti for both of us. Cheese for me and sausage for you." A small smile crept to my face as he said it. I couldn't help but stare into his beautiful green eyes. They were mesmerizing. One could easily get lost in those eyes, which were as beautiful as the ocean itself. But he was so bipolar. One day he ignores me, and the next day he cooks for me. And to be honest, I was also bipolar. One day I hate him, and the other day I see him as a hot angel descended down from heaven. "I'll help you." Not wanting to be useless, I took the spaghetti and started cooking. I quickly learned that he and I both like spicy food, so I added more sauce to the first meal we were about to share in his house. We talked about simple stuff, mostly related to the food we liked. As I cooked, I saw Marcus looking at me several times, and it made my heart flutter. I didn't know what had gotten into me, but ever since I saw him so fragile, all I wanted to do was take care of him. But I knew better than to fall for him. It would only hurt me in the end. "Okay, done." I raised my hands up in victory, and he chuckled. After taking the plates to the table, we ate our decent meal in silence. But thankfully, it wasn't an uncomfortable silence. "You want ice cream?" I asked with excitement. "Sure." He nodded his head with a smile. Did he just smile? What crawled up his ass last night? While I took the ice cream from the freezer, he put the dishes in the dishwasher. I opened the ice cream container and took a spoon to serve it into bowls. Marcus stood beside me waiting for his ice cream. We both liked vanilla, so we decided to eat it. Marcus said he eats chocolate when necessary, but never as an ice cream, and I, on the other hand, eats chocolate in any form possible. "Okay, mister, here is your ice cream." I swung the spoon like a wand as I handed him his bowl. My magical spoon decided to go against my commands. As I swung the spoon around the ice cream, and it flew off and landed on Marcus's face. Shit. He closed his eyes as ice cream dripped from his face. I stared at him in shock for a moment, but then couldn't hold back the laughter that was trying to escape my lips. His cheeks were covered in vanilla ice cream, making him look like a ghost you would find in Scooby-Doo. Soon I started cracking up. I kept my hands on the kitchen counter for support and bent down laughing hard. "Are you laughing at me?" Marcus asked with a serious tone, but a few seconds later he chuckled seeing me laughing. "I can't. You don't need a bowl. Just lick your face." "Well, let's see how your wand works on you." Marcus winked and took my spoon and swung it just like I did. All the ice cream in the spoon was thrown at my face, and I gasped loudly. I raised my head to look at Marcus, only to see him laughing. He looks so cute when he laughs. Wait, what crawled up my ass today? After we both spent hours of laughing at each other, we both went to our rooms to take a shower. As I came out, I saw Marcus's room through my glass windows, which stretched as big as one wall. Marcus was standing near his glass wall, already changed into a white shirt and black pants. He had his towel around his neck and his head was bent low. I edged closer to the window and faintly saw him smiling to himself. Suddenly he turned to my way, and I quickly ducked, already red with embarrassment. I crawled to the side in all fours and closed the curtains. This was a new side of him which I wished to see every day. So to make the day better, I braced myself to watch a movie with him. After relaxing myself from all the embarrassment, I went to his side of the house and knocked on the door. He opened it after 2 knocks, and I stood on the other side with a big fat smile on my face. Want to watch a movie? I had already prepared myself for his refusal, but surprisingly, he nodded with a smile on his face. And he shocked me again when he walked into my room instead of going downstairs. Ignoring all the weird things happening, I sat on my bed as Marcus turned on the TV. Soon the awkwardness washed away, and we both were enjoying the movie. When the movie came to an end, I looked at Marcus, but he was sleeping, his head lying on my shoulder. I tried tapping his head a few times, but he wouldn't even budge. And I also felt guilty for trying to wake him up from the peaceful sleep his was in. So I slowly leaned him down on the pillow and moved to the other end of the bed before closing my eyes. I didn't know why I slept on the bed next to him, but one thing was sure. I didn't want a broken spine after sleeping on the couch. I woke up the next morning to a familiar feeling of warmth. Slowly, I opened my eyes and saw a handsome man sleeping next to me. My hand was lying on his chest and his wrapped around my waist. Our faces were only inches apart, a slight move, and our lips would meet. I stared at his perfectly carved face for a while until realization hit me. Suddenly, I jerked away and sat up straight. Due to my sudden movement, Marcus stirred and slowly opened his eyes. His eyes wandered around the room, and then they fell upon me. His eyes widened in shock, and he quickly got out of the bed. He ran his fingers through his hair and groaned in frustration. "No," he whispered. "What? Nothing happened," I said in confusion. "No." He shook his head, looking down. "Marcus!" I tried getting up, but he stopped me. "Get away from me!" "Marcus!" I said, "Get away from me!" He yelled in fury and left the room, leaving me confused and heartbroken. My heart ached seeing how much he had changed overnight. It was just yesterday that he was laughing and having fun with me. Did I do something? I quickly showered and went downstairs to talk with Marcus, only to see him dressed and leaving the house. "Marcus, I need to talk to you." He glanced back with anger in his eyes. "There's nothing to talk about." With that, he closed the door and left. I rushed to the window and saw his car leaving, shattering my heart. Why does he keep doing this? Why are we always 1 step forward, 2 steps backward? I was pulled out of my grief as my phone rang. I took it out, and it was Allie, currently my happy pill. The only person I feel like talking to. "Hey, Camilla, want to hang out?" "Yes, very badly." Allie was hesitant before she replied. "Want to talk about it?" Maybe just come and pick me up." I didn't feel like driving at the moment. I was afraid my mental breakdown would cause an accident. I didn't even feel like having breakfast, so I slumped down on the couch and waited for Allie. I saw her Porsche arriving after several minutes. "Hop in!" she yelled and waved her hand, gesturing me to come. As I got in, she began bombarding me with questions. "So tell me, trouble in paradise? First, take me somewhere where I can forget everything." A small smirk appeared on her lips. "Nope, not the bar. It's still morning." I made a big cross from my hands and shook my head. "Fine, let's go shopping." Allie chuckled and started the engine. "What? No! I hate shopping!" I started protesting, but she didn't listen. It was her favorite hobby and one of the things that I hated the most. Ironically, even though I run a fashion designing company, I don't like to go shopping. My company designs my own clothes, so I don't need to go shopping and select clothes from other brands. "Please, pretty please." "Fine, then let's go to one of my shops," I suggested, earning a glare from her. "You are so boring. What's wrong with other brands? I don't want to shop in my rival companies." "Damn, you are so annoying." Fine. Let's go to one of your shops. Show me where the biggest one is." I told her the directions, and after finally reaching it, she parked her car right in front of the building. I got out of the car and walked in. The security saw me and their eyes became big like bowling balls. Allie giggled and hooked her arm with mine. I like when they do this. You are shit scary when you are in your empire. She dragged me inside and one of my staff turned to greet us, but seeing me, her entire face paled. She quickly ran to the reception and brought a tabloid. "Ma'am, here is today's sales." But I held my hand, stopping her. "I didn't come to check on the sales. I came here to shop." The girl looked baffled by what I said. "You shop." "I can't." She quickly looked down and pursed her lips, frightened. I'm sorry, ma'am. I didn't mean it." Allie chuckled and wrapped her arm around my shoulder. "Big bad boss in town. Let's go now, or the poor girl would faint." She pushed me further into the store where the expensive dresses would be. She tried out different dresses and asked for my opinion. I was bored to death, but still continued to help her. I have seen all these dresses before it was put into the stores, and now seeing them again made me lose interest in them. As we went on shopping for more things, I saw a group of girls giggling, trying out different scarves. But especially one girl caught my eye. It was Marcus's half-sister. I stared at her for a while until her eyes met mine. She looked quite shocked, but then she told something to her friends and came sprinting towards me. "Hi." She waved her hand shyly. Hi." I waved my hand awkwardly. "I'm sorry I didn't recognize you that day. I even told you that I'm going on a date with Marcus. I'm really sorry, and I hope you didn't misunderstand." She gave me a small smile as if she was asking for my forgiveness. She held her hand out for me to shake. I was surprised by her formalities, but pleased nonetheless. "I'm Clara Marcus's." I cut her off before she could continue. "I know, his sister." Her eyes brightened as I said it. "He told you that." Her eyes were gleaming with happiness, much like mine whenever I see an ice cream truck. "No, Madeline told me," I said awkwardly. She looked down as if she was hurt. Suddenly, I felt guilty for hurting her feelings. She seemed like a nice person, and the only thing I dislike was her name because she shared it with my rival Clara Bolton. But nevertheless, I shook the thought off. "Anyways, I'm so happy to see you. Hope we can be friends." A huge grin appeared on her face. "Of course." I mirrored her reaction. "Who's this beauty?" Allie interrupted us as she came running down with a handful of dresses. "This is Clara, and she's Marcus's sister." "Sister. That's cool." She clapped her hands. "Want to hang out with us?" "Sure." We walked around my shop, and much like Allie, Clara was also a shopping maniac. But I couldn't enjoy the shopping since all my staff were looking at me as if I was the devil. To get their frightened looks out of my mind, I decided to talk with Clara. "So who are you living with Marcus's mom?" Her eyes widened in shock, but she quickly composed herself to a straight face. "No, with my grandparents." She cleared her throat several times. "What about your mom?" This was the only chance I had to get to know Marcus, and I wasn't going to back down easily. "I don't know her much. I moved in with my grandparents when I was just 1 year old." My brows furrowed in confusion. "What about Marcus?" Clara looked at me and her eyes begged me to stop asking any further. Even though I felt guilty, I kept going. If I wanted to understand him, this was my only chance. "He lived with our mom till he was 8. After she disappeared, he went to live with his dad, and I went to our mom's parents. She disappeared. Yeah, I don't really know anything about it since I was very young, and my grandparents never really talk about her at home." She fidgeted with her hands, feeling uncomfortable. "So you have a good relationship with Marcus?" I asked, trying to lighten her mood. As expected, she let out a huge breath in relief. Yes, he comes to see me whenever he has time. He gives money to my grandparents since they are too old to work. He is a great brother. Her eyes were shining with happiness as she talked about her brother. It only made my heart ache more. Was it only me that he was treating this way? Why can't he show me his caring side? As I was questioning myself, I saw a pair of angry eyes staring at me through the window. Before I had a chance to react, Marcus strode towards me, his body shaking with anger. His eyes never left mine until he stood directly in front of me. He turned to Clara, and even through his anger, I saw his eyes softening. "Clara, what are you doing with this woman?" He pointed at me. "She's your wife." "Fake wife, fake." He corrected her, only worsening my heartache. Then without another glance, he dragged Clara out of the store. I ran out of the store to talk to Marcus. I needed to know the reason for his behavior. I wouldn't let him treat me like his punching bag anymore. As I ran out, small raindrops started falling on my head. I look up to see the gray sky looming above me as if the sky felt my sorrow. "Marcus," I called out to him before he got into his car. Clara was already seated in the passenger seat looking at me with pity. Marcus closed his door and strode towards me in an intimidating manner. I wanted to shrink away from him, but I held my chin up. The rain had started pouring down in torrents. We were both completely soaked by now. My coat was drenched, making it hard to stand straight with its heavy weight pulling me down. "What's wrong with you?" That was the only thing that I could utter as he got closer. "There's nothing wrong with me." He spat angrily. I had never felt such anger in my entire life. "Really, one day you are friendly, and the next day you are giving me a cold shudder as if I am disgusting," I ranted accusingly. "I'm sorry if you misunderstood, but I was anything but friendly to you, and it's true you do disgust me." His words hurt me more than I thought they would. I stared at him hesitantly, thinking about what to say next. "What?" He cut me off. "You are just an annoyance in my quiet life. Since you came, my whole life turned upside down. All I can think about is how to make you go. You do realize that you are not the only one who was forced into this marriage, right?" I tried to keep my voice steady, but on the inside, I was howling with pain. It was true that we were nothing but a fake married couple. But even though it was fake, all I wanted from him was respect. Maybe to even become friends with him, but I never thought my presence would disgust him. Judging by the way that yesterday went, I thought we were making progress and that he was finally opening up to me, but apparently not. "Yes, we were both forced, and don't worry, this marriage won't last long. RJ has gotten a lot of help from Empire, and soon your companies will be stable. And I made sure to pull some strings so that I can get away from you as quickly as possible," he said through gritted teeth, his fist clenching and unclenching in anger. "So when do we get a divorce?" I asked, looking him straight in the eye. "I will make sure to hand over the divorce papers to you within this year. So remember, this marriage will only last for another year, and after that you and I will never see each other again." I nodded my head and looked at him. As I saw the disgust in his face, my eyes started to well up with tears. Never in my life had I felt this ashamed this week. I glimpsed a slightly pained look cross his face for a second before he composed himself once again. I quickly blinked my eyes to stop the tears from pouring down and making me even more embarrassed and ashamed than I already was. "Fine, you and I will only stay together for a year, and I have no intention of living in the same house with a person who hates me." "I will be moving out in the evening," I hissed through gritted teeth. With that, I went inside the store and saw Allie looking at me with sympathy. The scene we made had caught the attention of my staff, but with a quick, intimidating glare from me, they all went back to their work. Allie came running to me and gave me a big hug. She seemed to be crying as I felt her tears on my neck. "Allie, I'm soaked. Don't ruin your clothes." I patted her shoulder gently. "Oh, baby," she cried, holding me. I leaned back and gave her a reassuring smile. "I'm fine, Allie." "No, you're not." Even I couldn't stop crying as he said those words. "I can't bear to see you like this, Camilla. You deserve so much more." She sobbed harder, getting everyone's attention again. "Allie, let's get out of here." I dragged her out of the store and in the direction of her car. We didn't even bother with an umbrella as we ran to the car. I got into the driver's seat knowing that Allie couldn't drive when she was having a mental breakdown. "Camilla, get away from him. He's a jerk who doesn't deserve someone like you. He's a devil, and I pray to God that he'll never find someone who loves him in this lifetime." "He doesn't deserve it," Allie said while continuing to sob harder. "Well, there's no point in cursing him, Allie. It's his life, and someday he will find someone who he loves." I felt my eyes brimming with tears as I replayed the words he said to me in my head. I quickly closed my eyes with my hands so as to hide my face from Allie. But she saw me breaking down and quickly embraced me in a warm hug, and I trembled in her hold, unable to control my own body. What did I do, Allie? What did I do for him to hate me so much? "You did nothing wrong, Cam. It's all him. Don't cry again for a man like him." Allie cupped my face in her small hands, and her nose reddened as she sniffled softly. "Listen to me, Cam. He shoved you away like you were nothing. It's time you stand up to him and show him that you don't care. It's time we show him that his words don't affect us." I nodded my head. "I'll forget him, Allie. We'll only meet during business meetings for the next year. After that, I never want to see him ever again." I promised myself to get away from him as fast as possible. I wouldn't cling on to him again. I wouldn't care if he was all right or not. I would do anything to forget him. "Okay, that's my girl. Now let's go to his house and pack your things. Where are you staying? You can stay with me as long as you want." "Thank you, but I have a penthouse near my company. I'll be staying there for a while." "Are you going to tell your parents?" Her words dawned upon me as if I had been struck by lightning. What do I tell my parents? They would feel horrible about this whole affair. "No, they don't need to know. You know your parents are shit. They forced you into this. They sold you." Allie spat angrily. "Hey, don't scold them. I know they did it, but they did what they thought was best for me." "Sometimes I really don't understand you, Camilla. You're a hardworking, strong woman on the outside, but on the inside you have a soft, fragile heart that warms up to everyone around you." She shook her head, avoiding my eyes. "I pity Marcus. He let go of the most precious thing he could ever have." Allie looked into my eyes, trying to comfort me. I knew that she was sad of how Marcus treated me, and I felt blessed to have a friend like her. We drove off quietly to his house. I took some suitcases out and packed my bags with Allie helping me. It was already evening, and as I walked down the stairs with a suitcase behind me, I saw the front door opening, and the man that I hoped to never see again came inside. He looked at me with an unreadable emotion. Allie walked behind me, dragging another suitcase, but as soon as she saw Marcus, her face darkened. She tugged at my arm and dragged me out of the door quickly. I turned my head to look at Marcus, only for Allie to pinch my arm and whisper into my ear, "Don't you dare!